Good afternoon everyone. Today we will present our study on Healthy, Safety and Environment or HSE in the campus canteen area. This research was conducted by Group T as part of our effort to analyze real workplace conditions, identify potential risks. Through this presentation, we will show how hazard can be identified, assessed and controlled systematically to improve safety and environmental quality. Our group consists of 4 members, Cici Alina, Elizabeth Kurniawan, Regina Vinta, and also me, Helena Putri. Each member contributes to different stages, including observation, analysis, and control design.
Here is our contribution list.
For the background, this study was conducted in the campus canteen, which is a high activity area, daily operation including cooking, cleaning, food preparation, and constant movement of people. This activity creates various potential hazards, including safety risks like slips or burns, health risks such as food contamination, and environmental risks like waste accumulation. Because of this complexity, the canteen becomes an important area to evaluate in terms of HSE. Problem statement. From our initial observation, we identify multiple hazards across different operations. Some of these hazards have both high likelihood and high severity, meaning they can happen often and cause serious impact. In addition, existing control measures are not fully implemented or are inconsistent, which increase the overall risk level. For this slide, the objective of this study are 4 main points. First, to identify hazard in canteen activities. Second, to assess and prioritize risks. Third, to design effective control measures. And finally, to improve overall safety and ensure compliance with regulation. For framework and methodology, our study follows a structured framework. First, we conduct direct observation to understand the real condition. Second, we identify hazards and classify them into safety, healthy, and environmental categories. Third, we assess risks using a risk metric based on likelihood and severity. After that, we prioritize hazard using risk score and cumulative analysis to focus on the most critical ones. Finally, we develop a control measure based on the hierarchy of control, starting from elimination to PPA. This systematic approach ensures effective hazard management. This slide, in the hazard identification stage, we analyze all activity in canteen. For each activity, we determine possible hazard, their cause and consequences. Then we assess their risk level and propose initial control measures such as SOP, improvement, better equipment, and layout adjustment.
On this part, we present the first part of environmental hazard identification. The main risks come from daily activity in the dining area. For example, cooking with LPG in a semi-enclosed space can produce exhaust gas, leading to air pollution and reduced air quality. Crowded cleaning area may damage surrounding green space due to excessive foot traffic. Improper waste disposal, such as open trash bins, can cause odor and environmental contamination. Then, this slide continues the environmental hazard identification. Here, we see issue related to water, energy, and waste. Food waste runoff can contaminate soil and draining system. This washing activity may release detergent waste, contributing to water pollution. The use of electrical application increase energy consumption. On this slide, we present the health hazard identification. The main health risks come from chemical, biological, and ergonomic factors in the canteen area. For example, cooking in a semi-enclosed space can expose people to smoke and fumes, which may cause respiratory problems. Crowded cleaning area can also lead to physical fatigue and discomfort due to prolonged standing. Improper waste management may expose individuals to bacteria. On this slide, we'll continue the health hazard identification. Several risks are related to heat, food safety, and chemical exposure. The use of electrical appliances near water storage may cause the heat exposure, leading to discomfort and heat stress. Improper food storage can result in bacterial growth, increasing the risk of food poisoning. In addition, cleaning activity during operating hours may expose worker and customer to chemical vapors, which can cause respiratory irritation. Lastly, the use of plastic packaging with hot food may lead to chemical immigration. This slide presents safety hazard identification in the area. The main risks include fire, physical injuries, and accident. For example, LPG use can cause fire or explosion if there is a gas leak. Crowded area with rubber barriers may lead to tripping or collision. Improper waste disposal can expose sharp objects, increasing the risk of cuts. Slippery stairs and wet floor are also major concern, as they cause fall and injuries. In addition, electrical appliance near water source may lead to electrolyte shock hazard.
The risk assignment step. We assess each hazard by combining its likelihood and consequence using the risk matrix, and the result is grouped into 4 levels. The first one is low or green. It's acceptable, just monitor. And the second one is medium to low, the yellow one. It's apply standard controls. And the third one is medium high or orange, needs management attention and specific action. And the last one is high or red, it's required immediate action or stopping the activity. This helps us prioritize risk and decide the appropriate response.
On this slide, we present the risk assessment result for safety hazard. Each hazard is evaluated based on likelihood and severity, resulting in different risk levels such as a high, medium, and low. For example, LPG leaks and slippery stairs are categorized as high risk due to their potential to cause serious accident. Medium risk include rubber barrier, wet floors, and spoiled food. Low risk, such as minor plastic hazard, have less severe impacts but should still be managed.
This slide shows the risk assessment for healthy hazards. 2 hazards are high risk: LPG fume inhalations with a score of 16, controlled by ventilation and an exhaust fan, and a food bacteria with a score of 20, controlled by proper cold storage. The remaining hazards are medium risk, such as standing fatigue, waste exposure, chemical contact, and heat from appliances. Controls include gloves, hygiene practices, closed bins, safe chemicals, and food-grade packaging. This slide shows the risk assessment for safety hazards. 3 hazards are classified as high risk: LPG leak or fire with a score of 20, slippery stairs with a score of 16, and electric contact with water with a score of 15. These hazards require controls such as ventilation, gas detectors, and anti-slip surfaces, maintenance, and proper insulation. Several hazards are medium risk, including rope barrier trips, wet floors, spoiled food, and sharp waste. 2 hazards are low risk, which are cleaning tools, blocking the area, and sharp plastic.
After assessing all risks, the next step is prioritization. In this stage, we use risk score and Pareto analysis to identify the most critical hazard. This approach helps us focus on the small number of hazards that contribute to the majority of risks. Instead of treating all hazards equally, we concentrate on high-impact risks that require immediate attention. As a result, hazards such as LPG gas usage, slippery floors, and food contamination become our top priorities. This prioritization ensures that our control efforts are more efficient and focused. After prioritizing the risk, we design control measures using the hierarchy of control. This approach starts with elimination, which removes the hazard completely. If elimination is not possible, we move to substitution, replacing the hazard with a safer option. Next are engineering control, such as improving equipment or layout. Then administrative control, including SOPs and training. Finally, the PPE is used as the last layer of protection.
By following this hierarchy, we ensure that the most effective and sustainable solutions are applied. For safety hazard, one key control is improving ventilation for LPG gas usage. Proper ventilation reduces the risk of gas accumulation and potential explosion. This is an example of an engineering control that directly reduces the hazard at its source. Another important control is the use of non-slipping flooring. Slippery floors are a common cause of accident in the canteen area. By improving floor condition, we can significantly reduce the risk of slip and falls. In addition, we recommend improving equipment layout and organization. A better layout reduces unnecessary movement and minimizes the risk of collision or injuries. This also improves overall efficiency in the workspace. For environmental hazard, one key solution is proper waste management. This includes separating waste, ensuring regular disposal, and maintaining cleanliness. This measure helps reduce pollution, improve hygiene, and create a safer environment for both workers and customers.
For environmental hazards, one key solution is proper waste management. This includes separating waste, ensuring regular disposals, and maintaining cleanliness. These measures help reduce pollution, improve hygiene, and create a safer place for both workers and customers. Here are the examples. For health hazards, control measures include maintaining food hygiene, proper storage, and use of PPE, such as gloves and masks, and regular monitoring to ensure compliance with health standards. Here are the examples in the next tables. In conclusion, multiple hazards were identified with several classified as high risk, mainly from cooking, cleaning, and waste handling. By prioritizing risk and applying the hierarchy of control, we can significantly reduce accidents, improve health conditions, and enhance environmental management. Thank you for giving your attention and listening to our presentation.